Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, people?
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome
What's
to
going on?
the Party Podcast, the sports podcast where we give you all the hottest sports topics, including culture and lifestyle. I am your boy Daryl, aka D Lamp,
Hey, I'm Melvin, aka Melo.
I'm Jalen, aka Jay-Tay.
And I'm Van, aka Huncho.
and this is the first episode.
Bow,
Glad
bow,
everybody's
bow,
tuning
bow,
in.
bow, bow, bow.
It's
First
here. It's
episode. We
here.
are
Yes, sir.
here. We are here. We are
It's
here.
time, man. It's
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes,
Hey, a
sir.
long time coming, guys.
It's
Long
been a
time coming.
I'm trying to set this up.
long time coming. A long time. A long
And tag
time.
shit.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna dive in a little bit. Shoot, I mean, uh, I know Lamp from college, and Lamp actually introduced me to Melo, which actually introduced me to Van. So we all kind of connected through playing the game. Playing 2K with each other, Overwatch, all
Yes,
types of
sir.
different
Yes,
games
sir.
with each other, killing floors. Um, and
Shout out Killing
what
Floors
came
for
from
free.
it was this idea. We chop it up about like life and sports just in general. So I mean, it just came in full circle with us wanting to come and getting this together, man. And we super excited to push the content for y'all. We got a lot in store. So yeah, just a little
Oh
bit about
yes.
me before y'all go in. Jalen from Chicago, love Chicago. I love my city to the death of me. Few of my favorite players. I am a D Rose fan, Kobe Bean Bryant. And I'm
Yes.
Hey,
just a fan of the game. I'm a fan of basketball. I'm a fan of football, and I just love
Mm-hmm.
sports in general. So I'm gonna kick it out to another to D Lamb. Go ahead and do your thing, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like you said, we all just came together because I went to high school with these two fellas. Ended up going to college with my boy Jay-Tay, and we all connected. And like you said, through the game, we were always in the party. Hence, why the podcast is called the party
Yes, sir.
because that's where it's all started. So yeah, we would just always chop it up. Always had sports predictions. We were just always talking sports and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, we just wanted to bring it to the people. But a little bit about me. Long story. I'm not actually from Grand Rapids, but I'm gonna say I'm from Grand Rapids. There's a long story about that. So I am more of a players guy. I love the game. Few of my favorite players: KD, Russell, Kyrie, and then yeah, love the game football. Yeah, and you know, just ready to bring it to the people. Go ahead, Melo.
No, so like Daryl said, I'm Melo. Uh, Obviously went to school with Daryl and Van. Met Jalen through Daryl, and we all hit it off right away. I like Melo. Surprises, right? Uh, I got Steph as a dude that I root for heavy. DeRozan is a guy I root for heavy, and it's always Kobe Bean Bryant. For myself, I
Kobe.
actually, oh yeah, always R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P.
man,
RIP, man.
for real.
Uh,
Respect.
for me, as just I went to CMU. I'm from Grand Rapids. You know what I mean? I actually ran track at CMU. Was a high jumper. You know what I mean? So it definitely is cool being around a bunch of guys that want to be successful and doing their own thing. Shout out Van and everything he's doing. Shout out Jay and shout out D Lamp. We all got our
Yeah,
own
Yes,
endeavors.
we
sir.
all got the same
Man,
So
mindset.
we
love,
all
bro,
got that
love.
same mindset. Yeah, I mean it's
True.
hard to find a group of guys that we all push each other to be great. So, man, I could talk about these dudes forever. So, but I'm gonna kick it to my boy Van. Go ahead, Huncho.
Man, my name is Van. Went to high school with obviously those two gentlemen right there. Like I said, or like they have said, just being on the game, just the bond has been formed with these guys, man. And you would be surprised. Honestly, y'all would not know, but me and Zay have never personally met in
Facts.
person.
Facts.
And
Officially.
we're like
Hey,
that's like my
Facts.
dog, bro. So like
Facts.
it's
hey,
crazy,
I
man.
met Jay for 10 minutes.
It's crazy, man. Just like these
Jay
bonds
had
have
to
been
make a
Don't tell
play.
formed.
them how you met me though.
Jay had to make a play.
Stop, stop. Do not do that. Do not.
He said
My bad. Don't
hut.
listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen
Ran
Yeah,
to
the
him.
route.
man.
He
These
had to
my
get
guys though,
away.
Hail
man.
Mary. Hail
These my
Mary.
guys though, man. Yeah, like I said, like we said, just being on the game, just forming that bond. You know what I'm saying? So, just over the years, we just became even tighter. As for myself, went to Aurora University, played football, college football, played receiver. So just being around the game. Obviously, I love the game of football. So, let's go with football. My favorite player in football is DeAndre Hopkins. Favorite football team is Clemson. The Clemson Tigers. We got a little bad taste in our mouth right now, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Hey.
And then as far as basketball, right now my favorite player to watch is none other than Wardell Stephen Curry. So yeah, that's me, man. That's me. So
Oh yes. I'm excited to get into this, fellas.
yes, sir.
Y'all ready?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Where we starting at? Where we start us off, Huncho?
Let's go with the All-Star game. I know this All-Star game just recently just passed. Just let's go with some thoughts on that. Let's start off with the skills competition, man. What's y'all take on that, man?
Well, the people might not know. We talk sports all the time, but I got to give credit where credit is due. My pick didn't win. One of these three guys said that a big man was going to win, and a big man won, and they've been killing this competition.
Two people said big man was gonna win.
Facts,
Okay.
and both of those people were in the finals as well.
I didn't say that. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But it was good. It was good. It was good. Shout out to me.
You feel me?
CP3, you let me down, but it's okay. It's okay.
Look, CP gonna come back again. He gonna come back again. But yeah, I had a feeling the big man was gonna win. I just knew Sabonis. He just has a tool bag where he could dang near do it all. Yeah. So I just had a feeling that he was gonna show out. Too much obliged. It happened.
He did his thing.
How you feel, Melo?
Man, and like we spoke on, we both kind of had a feeling that a big man would take it. You know what I mean? I thought my guy Vusi would take it, but I'm not mad that Sabonis did it. You know what I mean? I like Sabonis. Sabonis is doing this thing. I ain't got no issues with it. I'm cool with being wrong. Like, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's cool. Hey, Vano, let's talk about something we was all right on real quick. Go ahead and kick off that 3-point contest real quick.
Hey, man, 3-point contest, man. We already know who was in there. We already know what he does. We already knew what the outcome was going to be. As much as, we want to, support the other people that's in there and, cheer for them. I mean, at the end of the day, I listened to somebody, I don't know who was saying it, but they said Steph went in there and pulled a Larry Bird, man. He went in there talking about which one of y'all shooting for second. So, I mean, we saw what played out, man. So
look, I mean, somebody said he was unanimous. Somebody was right. But also somebody said that we should watch out for Zach LaVine.
Hey, man, I didn't know Mike Conley was going to be in it. I knew Mike Conley was going to be in it. Look, what y'all don't know about Mike Conley, like, Mike Conley really do stuff like this. Like, oddball, like, shooting type stuff, Mike Conley is great at. Like, he won the horse thing for a reason. Like, he do this oddball, like, this type stuff. So, on the real, like, no cap, if I would have knew Mike Conley was in there, I would have took Mike Conley just off of the strength of that. Even though I still believe I still thought that Zach LaVine would have been his runner-up, Steph Curry's runner-up. But I'm cool with it. Like I said, we all knew who was going to be number one.
We knew
right.
Listen, you know what I call them. Unanimous for a reason. You better go back and look at 2016. We ain't got to talk about the finals, though.
Shout out Zach LaVine, bro. Let's get it done the second half of the season, man. Let's get to playoffs, man.
Do your thing, Chicago.
Y'all right on the cusp of it, too. Y'all can do it, too. We'll get into that later, though.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, the slam dunk contest was at halftime. I mean, how did you guys just feel about it, format wise, dunks wise? Like I said, it really wasn't as eventful, but considering that they had to do it so quickly during halftime, each participant got 2 dunks, so I don't really feel like they really got to show what they could actually bring to a dunk contest. But like I said, I'm happy. I'm happy for Portland. They got them a dunk contest winner, so I'm not mad at that.
So I kind of feel like I understand why they did it at that halftime. With COVID and stuff, you trying to keep everything as condensed as possible. You don't want the All-Star weekend to linger out as long as it would usually would, because just like it's more chances of somebody catching it or something going wrong. So yeah, I kind of see why they did.
And look at Ben Simmons and beating them, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
they were trying to
yeah.
minimize as much of that as possible. Can you imagine if they had had a regular weekend and everyone there would have to
Yeah.
quarantine? The league would be
Well,
OVOXO.
it was a
Exactly. So
long weekend in Atlanta. It wasn't. It was
Hey,
an
I
All
already
Star game,
know
but it was
Hey
a
man, that's
long
going
All
crazy.
Star weekend.
people was
Cumberland
flying
Mall was
in.
going up.
I'm already know
Cumberland,
people was flying in from everywhere.
it was wild.
But
Man.
really how I feel, I kind of feel like the NBA should try to move on from the dunk contest, just because we kind of seen dang near everything you could do dunking the ball. Once Blake Griffin hit the scene, they made it like he made it more of a like prop contest. It wasn't like an actual dunk contest. And just look at how Simmons won. He won with a kiss to the rim. I'm pretty sure I seen somebody blow a cupcake out on top of it.
you right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's an
So it's
underrated
like we
dunk, whole
kind
Shout
time.
of
out Gerald Green, man.
Yeah, that's an underrated dunk, whole time. That's an underrated dunk.
so
You
I'm,
right.
I'm just saying we kind of seen everything from the dunk contest. Like I feel like Adam Silver should try to innovate something new
Bro,
to
it's
catch
only-
people's attention.
It's only so many ways you could throw a ball in a rim.
Exactly. Especially if, like we've already seen most of it. And on top of that, who wants to watch people like? Because I feel like now there's so many missed dunks. It's just like, all right, what am I watching?
Plus, they miss dunks coming from no name guys unless you really follow the league. You know what I mean? A lot of them people didn't even know who Anthony like Simmons was.
Exactly.
Like I knew he was because I like Dame and I played a lot. Obviously, we all play 2K, so like we know a lot of just random players just off of knowing that you got to know the rosters. But a lot of those people really didn't know a lot of those people that were competing. So
They had somebody come out the G League.
you know what I mean? So I'm not listening. I'm not against that. They showed you what they think of or of the dunk contest because what do we think of halftime shows? You know what I mean? Like you don't go to a game for the halftime show. You go to the game for the game. So
Exactly.
they threw it in there. Now I think the only way the NBA can really revitalize the dunk contest is by getting those big names to come back. You know what I mean? We'll watch big names even if they're redo dunks, but
Yeah.
it's done. It's done degraded to the point where it's a bunch of no name guys doing creative-ish dunks, but the draw really now outside the game is, let's be honest, it was watching a dude like Steph or all these snipers do what they do.
You wanted to watch All Stars at the All Star Weekend event. So like having somebody come from the G League to do a dunk, or like having having people that most of your audience don't know, like dunking from the free throw line when we already seen the GOAT do that. Like I don't know this dude, so like why would I care as a casual fan? But yeah, I just feel like they should try to find something that might bring back the audience. Like if you can't get those big name players, for example, like Zion was supposed to be the highlight reel for the dunk contest, but you see he didn't end up doing it. So you're losing a lot of your audience when stuff like that happens. But Jay, you got anything you want to add?
Y'all touched right on it. Like I said, it was it was cool for Portland. It was good filler for a COVID All Star game. So I mean I think you and Melo pretty much hit it on the head. I would just say I would just recommend. I'm with the fans. I'm real big on Twitter, so I'm with the 1v1 competition. I think that would be dope. To see guys go 1-on-1. Maybe do it based on
1-on-1s.
position. Maybe do it based on position, and try to figure that out. But I'm definitely game for a 1v1 competition. All Star Weekend. Just saying, if you want to replace the dunk contest. Yeah.
Hey, I like that idea because low key, there's enough games that you can do in basketball, right? That,
Yeah.
I would rather see some of those type of things than and that's
Honestly,
being real.
Like give me a Bam versus a bonus.
I wouldn't mind if they brought back
or
the
something
little
like that.
spin the wheel thing. I really wouldn't mind if they brought that back, honestly. Just
that
because
was real cool.
that
That too.
changes it up. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I just feel like it's better ways y'all can like they can spend their time than like having the dunk contest.
Keep as many marquee names during the All-Star game as possible.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, then you got any last little thoughts on that?
Nah, man. I mean, y'all pretty much y'all hit it on the head, man.
It really did.
For real, man. Enough about the dunk contest, man.
Right.
What y'all think about the game?
Yeah,
Let's talk about the game.
game.
What y'all think about the game, man? Like, I know we kind of spoke about it a little bit on our own. What y'all?
Gotta get the rest of it out. I guess I'll
Somebody
start it
has to
off.
take
we got to get that air drip. But go
Right.
ahead, my
man.
bad.
I think I think the games are getting more entertaining as the years go on. I mean, like you're going to expect a lot of offense. This year specifically was a little harder for it to be closer towards the end because Team LeBron was out so much throughout the game. But I really enjoyed seeing Steph and Dame shoot from all over the court. I really
They
think it was a
going
confident boost for Giannis going 16 for 16. Just seeing him have fun out there is going to rejuvenate him for the second half of the season. So all in all, I thought it was pretty exciting. A lot of scoring. LeBron really did his GM thing this time around. It was nice to see Steph and LeBron play for the first time. So
LeBron always GM. Like he always do his
LeBron,
thing.
the only one that go in there trying to win. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah.
Listen, LeBron go in there with one goal and one goal to get that little bonus.
Yep. Yeah, man. They raised
you
a
got,
ton of
man?
money. They raised a ton of money. They raised so much money for their charity as well. So like I said, all in all, it was good feels. You know what I'm saying? For it to be such a small crowd, I thought it was pretty entertaining. So I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah. What you got, Huncho?
I mean, like Jay said, I kind of agree that the games are kind of getting more entertaining. I've always just watched the game for the excitement, in which I feel like the way the games are going now, I feel like the way they kind of changed that fourth quarter rule, I feel like that's kind of, making it shake up a little bit more too. So,
Bring some more life.
I agree.
I'm enjoying the direction it's going, for the most part, yo. That's all I got on that, really.
Yeah, so I definitely I enjoyed it. Now the only thing that I think they need to tweak is like we all predicted the game and we all knew who was gonna win. So that part to me wasn't like we knew no matter what, like Team LeBron was gonna win. But I like what they're doing. I feel like they could still even tweak the format a bit. I mean, I thought last year it was really good, right? It was a super competitive game, but you got to find a way to make sure that even during games that are going to be like this, because not everybody's going to be able to pick the teams that are going to, do what Team LeBron has been doing, the last 4 years or whatever. So just trying to find a way to keep it competitive all the way through. But as far as entertainment, I mean, Dame, Steph, and LeBron all on one team with Giannis.
Yeah.
Who won the MVP?
Kudos to my guy Melo.
Man.
he predicted
He
Giannis
called
will
definitely
win
called
MVP.
it. He definitely
He
called
called
it.
And check it.
Dame could have
I
got
put
it
my
though.
money-
Dame could have got it though.
Dame could have got it.
I said Dame.
Dame
Dame
really
coulda got it.
Dame, Steph, and Giannis had equal chances at getting it. Obviously, it's hard to go 16
Perfect.
of 16 or
Perfect
wherever he went from the
field.
field. You know what I mean? So.
Period. It was
But-
deserving. He deserved it.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? I just listen. I put my money where my mouth was, and I showed up. All right, that's all. We just and Daryl's laughing because he know, and we'll listen. So like I said, I enjoyed it. By far my favorite moment. Well, I got two favorite moments to just sticks right out. Steph and Dame, just I mean,
They was taking turns.
like
Bro.
it's ridiculous. They're
From
using
the other side of the court, bro.
like they're using the half court line as a 3-point line. Right?
Target
Like, what-
practice, man.
They letting it go.
So, listen, man. Arguably, the two greatest deep range shooters of all time are on one team, and they're having a target practice in the middle of an with other pros.
That's true.
And then,
For real.
obviously, my last moment, my second moment was Steph's signature turnaround shot in the corner. I mean, dude, as soon as the ball left his hands, he turned around, didn't even see it go in, but heard the crowd go crazy, and that's when he knew it went in. Shout out Wardell, Stephen Curry. That man is different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, y'all all like basically hit every point. Like y'all said, I feel like they're going in the right direction with the format of the game. It was very entertaining to watch. I was just kind of disappointed that it wasn't as competitive that I thought it was going to be because KD was out, Book was out, Embiid was out.
Simmons.
That's that's a lot of all stars that you're missing on one squad. So it kind of tilted the
Tip the scale, yeah.
It was definitely unfair in LeBron's advantage. But once again, the way that he drafted that team was built to win. And
Oh yeah, but I felt like it definitely would have been a way more competitive game if everybody was out there on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, All-Star game was definitely a good time.
Excuse me,
They
sorry.
made the best. They made the best of the little bit of time they had. You know what I mean? So I definitely think overall it was a good weekend for the NBA. You know, the only negative or drawback, let's be honest, was Ben and Embiid, getting COVID or tracing or whatever. Right.
Protocol.
So that's the one drawback, but.
Yeah,
All in all,
it was good. Like you wouldn't have thought that a lot of the players didn't want to be there. Just on the way it went and the way everything turned out. Yeah, I think for the most part, the All-Star weekend was a success with everything going on, at least.
For sure. Well, I wanna flip the script real quick. So we talked about NBA. Let's move over to NFL real quick. So as y'all know, a lot of players are getting franchise tag right now. So for those who are unaware of what a franchise tag, so pretty much a franchise tag is basically it's a way for a team to stop a free agent from going into the open market. So pretty much, so let's say you got a rookie comes into the league and let's say he's on a 4-year deal. Once that contract is getting ready to be up, the team that he's currently on has the option to say, hey, let's franchise tag this player for one more year. Pretty much that player will get the average salary of the top 5 players at his position. That franchise tag has to be handled before that player goes into free agency. So if it's like 2 days before that player is about to go into free agency, it has to be done, before that player goes into that market. So pretty much, I mean, it's two different franchise tags that can happen. It's a non-exclusive tag and it's an exclusive tag. So pretty much a non-exclusive tag is pretty much where the player can negotiate with other teams as well. And, with that non-exclusive tag, the current team that player is on has the option to match that offer that is being set by the other teams. And then there's also an exclusive tag in which, that player does not have the option to negotiate with other teams or anything like that. If you guys think back to the year that RG3 got injured when he was on the Redskins,
Right.
Kirk Cousins came in, start doing his thing. Pretty much once his contract was over, the Redskins decided to franchise tag him for one more year, basically just to see, if this really was something that they wanted to, pretty much dump their money to.
Right.
It's pretty much just like a test, I guess, a test contract just to see if this player really is what they're going out there doing what they're doing. And it's kind of disrespectful because they put him on a franchise tag for 1 year, and then they put him on another franchise tag another year. But I mean, just some of the top players that just got franchise tagged, just so you all know. Obviously, Justin Simmons, which we kind of talked about that on the side. Justin Simmons got franchise tagged. Taylor Modden from the Panthers. I'm not sure if I said his name right or not. He's a tackle, offensive tackle for the Panthers. Marcus May, free safety for the Jets. Leonard Williams, a defensive tackle for the Giants. Obviously, Chris Godwin, the wide receiver for the Bucks, and Allen Robinson, the wide receiver for the Bears. All of them got franchise tags. Some pretty big names in the league. So, just pretty much wanted to hear y'all take on that. I mean, how do y'all feel about the franchise tag? Do y'all feel like it's, something that y'all agree with, disagree with, just with everything that goes behind it. What y'all feel about, how y'all feel about that?
Okay, so let me get in here real quick. We kind of talked about this earlier this week, and I kind of side with the point that the franchise tag is not really good for the individual player. It's for that market or that franchise. Like you said, they're only tagging you for a year, and anything can happen during that year, and it's not guaranteed. So I'm playing my ass off, and if something do happen to me, I have no backup plan. I have nothing to catch me. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's kind of restricting the players, and like I don't think it's something that, I don't know. Just to me, I feel like it's for the franchise's benefit.
So, in a way, like I see both sides of it, right? Like there's guys like a Kirk Cousins or even Dak, which we'll get more into Dak later on in the show, but guys like those that have shown to be capable, but are they worth? Dak was asking for money to be basically right behind Mahomes, right? So, like I said, we'll get into that later, but if you're asking for that type of money and the franchise doesn't believe in you, the franchise tag is there to basically, like you said, it's a 1-year audition, right? Now you can franchise them, I believe, up to 3 times, but by that third time, they're
each
making
team
so
gets
much.
one franchise tag per year for one player,
Right,
too.
and
So
you can
there's a
use it. So,
guaranteed
for example,
franchise tag every year.
right. So, for example, Kirk Cousins got it, I believe, twice. You know what I mean? Before he finally got a deal, and so they didn't believe in him after the first time. They didn't believe in him after the second time, which is why he left. But
That's so
the
disrespectful, bro. I'm sorry.
it was crazy, right?
Yeah.
The caveat is, the money is good money. So it's like, do you take the good money right now and jeopardize longevity, or is it something that it's almost like you got to protect yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Dak Prescott just dislocated his ankle this year, and he was on the franchise tag. Luckily, he's the quarterback, and it's a lot different for quarterbacks. Not every position has that type of luxury where they can just bounce back and not have to worry about repercussions. So it depends on where you're trying. Like if you're a pro player, pro team. In this case, I think the franchise tag is good for the team. I side with the franchise tag. You still get paid. You're still able to go out there and perform. And if you play the franchise tag the right way, you get like it helps out. You get more in the long run, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough because, like I said, NFL is the hardest sport. It's the as far as being a professional, it's the shortest window of being a professional. So it's a risk. It's a big risk, big reward type of situation. So I like the franchise tag. I think it's good. But I do understand why folks have an issue with it, or why players don't want to be tagged. I mean, you're giving your services for a 1-year contract with no guarantee after.
And I get what you're saying. For me, I'm more of a player empowerment person. That's why I like the NBA so much. So for the team to have like say so over whether they think you're good enough or not, and then like hold you to these 1-year auditions, I just feel like it's a big risk, like you said, but big reward. But if I'm a player, I want to play it safe.
Yeah, every player wants some type of security, right? And generally, security comes with long-term contract. So, Jay, what you think on this, man?
So this is a very, very, very complex question.
Come on with it, Jay.
And I was wondering how I was going to attack this question the entire time, but let me just paint a picture for the casual listener to understand the franchise tag. Because how I feel about the franchise tag, I feel like it caps potential. And I feel like, especially us being millennials, more so than others, you know what I'm saying? We don't like our potential to be capped. So what I mean by that is, yes, like Melo said, it is an opportunity for you to go out there. Okay, I'm going to get paid this certain amount of money. I can go improve myself, and then I can be this long term player. Now, one thing that we always talk about, everybody, is how top positions in football change every single year. They change every year. So my thing is, if you're capping somebody's potential and they have the potential to, provide for your team, you should pay that person. I just honestly feel like you should pay that person because I just think it's insulting from the standpoint that these guys have been doing this. They have committed their entire life to a sport, to a game. Now, riddle me this. You graduate college. What do they tell you after you graduate college? Go get a job. You go get this job. You're going out into the world, trying to get a job, trying to get the expertise, trying to get the knowledge and understanding of what goes into this job. So you might go into this job on a lower salary. Okay, so think of it like that. You might go to this job on a lower salary. Now, let's say in corporate America, you're supposed to get a yearly review. Now, what if you go crazy? You do an outstanding job an outstanding job at your job, and then they tell you you're only supposed to make this much. But bro, I mean, I've been busting my butt for the greater part of a year. I've been doing 10 times as much work as the next person, but you're telling me I'm capped at this salary or I'm capped at this amount. It's insulting.
Because we still want to see if we what you think you are.
Exactly. Now let me play devil's advocate. COVID happened. All right, COVID happened. COVID's going on. Hey, the NFL lost some money, but who capping the owner's salary? Who capping the salary of the guys that's getting paid behind the scenes? It's not happening. So like I said, man, I think the complexity of the question is extremely deep. But from a literal standpoint for, people who aren't that familiar with football, just think about you working your way up the corporate ladder. And you're working yourself up the corporate ladder so you can get that long-term deal or you can get that, long-term pay so you can buy this house or do whatever. It's the same thing for the NFL guys. What people don't talk about is that people retire and don't have any money left. So if I'm in my prime years, I want to get paid so my family can eat, my kids can eat, my mother can get the house she wants. So like I said, to my point about it being COVID, I mean, there was a salary cap the season before then, the season before that one, the season before that one. So since the NFL started or merged to this big capital, this big deal, you know what I'm saying? There's always been a cap on potential. But we see guys go to the Hall of Fame every year who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to the game. I think it should be reciprocated. So like I said, this is just me speaking, I'm not the person going in there crunching numbers and everything. But yeah, Allen Robinson should get paid. I'm a Bears fan. I'm sorry. I ain't got Patrick Mahomes throwing to me. I ain't got Russell Wilson throwing to me. I ain't got Tom Brady throwing to me. But you know what? I'm still going to produce. I'm still going to make sure I have some type of way to help my team get to the playoffs. Because we were a playoff team.
Of course.
So, like I said, man, throw them that bread, man. But like I said,
exactly.
We go all day on
great
this.
analogy. Y'all know I'm an analogy guy, so I like that.
Huncho, let me hear your thoughts, man.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
been
come
sitting
on.
quiet, and this is the spot that I know hits home.
Football guy,
Well-
my football guy. Let's see what you got.
I can see it from both perspectives. I definitely agree with you, Jay. From the perspective of the player need to get paid and everything. They go in there, they bust their butt, they go in there, they practice, weight room, whatever. They go in there, do their thing. They need to get paid. But at the same time, on the player's perspective, I feel like some players, and I could be wrong, but I feel like some players take being franchise tagged as somewhat of respect. The reason I say that is because you think about being franchise tagged. Teams not just gonna franchise tag anybody.
That is true.
Like
That's
you
true.
gotta
That's
be,
valid.
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be somebody of value. You have to have shown them something, showcase some type of talent, stepped up to the plate in some situation for them to say, hey, we need this guy for another year at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like it's a respect thing in that aspect, just because now that you're franchise tag. Like let's say in Justin Simmons' case, he's a young safety, a dog, a young
Yeah,
safety, and just he's already mentioned in the top safeties in the league already. But just by him now being franchise tag, now he's in the same money bracket as them as well. So that's already respect in its own way, you know what I'm saying, in itself.
Let me
So
ask you a question real
then
quick.
pay him. Pay him.
that's true. That's
Exactly.
true.
Let me ask you. That's exactly where I was going. I
What's
was gonna
good?
say, like you said, it's a respect thing because they only get one. They only get one tag. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to look at somebody, and like I get what you're saying. It's one tag, and they looking at me, so I must mean something. So
Yeah.
like Jalen said, if that's the case,
Why
pay
not
that
pay him?
man.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's
they
what I'm saying. I
are.
see both sides. I agree with y'all in that aspect too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's
But you
both
can't. That's the
sides of
money
it.
here.
I
But you getting paid
I
top
feel
five
like
money.
they should obviously, pay the man, give that man his money. Obviously, with him coming in there and being such of a value to your team, and being able to bring that aspect of whatever he brings to the team to make y'all that much better. Pay
Right.
that man for
Right.
sure. But at the same time, like I said, from a player's perspective, I feel like it could be some sort of respect seen in that, just because of what comes with the franchise tag, and how valuable that player is to the team. You got one franchise tag a year, and you gonna spend it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can understand it to some point. But at the end of the day, I do feel like that player should get paid for what they, what I'm saying, what they bring to the team.
Go ahead, Melo, and then
Especially
I
when
got
you
something to say
look
after you.
at, especially when you look at, and to use Jalen's analogy, you in a company, but if you knew that you was gonna be paid that 1 year to show that you was capable to get a long term extension, and not only that, you're getting paid top five of your position, in that, like, you know what I mean, to show what you can do. In a way, like you said, you really, and obviously injuries are part of NFL. That's the worst
Definitely.
case
Yeah.
scenario, right? Like I get it. NFL stands for not for long, right? We get it. But if you play it the right way, you can come out and be even better on
Man.
financially because of it, because you're going to get a guaranteed year of a contract that is a top five contract in your position. The average of the top five contracts in a position,
True.
Right.
right? So it's not like we're not talking about them not getting paid. We're not talking about them having generally, generational type of wealth either. Like, most of these dudes are still getting really good money at that with the tag, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm looking at it from a business perspective. If I'm not ready to shell out that type of money, some of it could even be my books may look different the next year. I may have certain guys coming off the books next year. I'm not even not be ready to part with certain guys, so it just may be easier for me as a guy who running the team to just hold off on a year. I'm gonna get you paid. You gonna still get paid the same. You're gonna get paid great money. And while you're doing that, we gonna, like Dak did. We able to negotiate behind the scenes. And now look, people get, you
Yeah,
can
he
still
getting
get
he
paid.
getting his money.
You can still get paid out of it. I don't think a lot of people see it as such a negative from the standpoint they don't believe in you. No, in a way they do. That's why they use it on you. That's
Yeah.
why they're willing to shell out top five money to you. You know what I mean? They don't shell out top five money to people they don't generally believe in, or at least want to at least give a chance to show that they worthy of more. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Jay. Let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah, that's just what I was gonna add is like Huncho said, it plays to both ends, but position, like you said, position matters as well. You know what I'm saying? If you getting tagged and you an offensive lineman, they don't get paid as much as the quarterbacks and the receivers. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see it in that aspect. But yeah, like y'all said, especially Huncho being a baller itself. You know what I'm saying? You want that recognition, especially in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It The top five changes on a year to year basis. So, if you do get that opportunity to go out there and prove yourself, you know what I'm just saying? We just gotta live in reality, and we just gotta understand that tomorrow's never promised. So that's just my whole ordeal about it. But yeah, guys, excellent discussion. I definitely think this is something that a lot of players even talk about amongst each other. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
But I follow a lot of these guys, and just seeing their reaction to it, and them wanting the money that they want. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see, man. It's gonna be another interesting season this season. Hopefully we get a whole bunch of more fans, and hopefully, the players that Huncho explained, that got those franchise tags. Hopefully, next time we doing this podcast, we talking about contracts they got.
For sure, for sure.
No, for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, good debate. It's something that is an ongoing debate. It's an
Yeah.
ongoing topic. But I want to switch it back to the NBA. I want to see. I want to listen. I want to hear y'all thoughts, man. So
go.
we listen. We just talked about how we at the All-Star break. We really about the halfway point. I want to hear y'all thoughts. Hear what y'all thinking about the East and the West moving forward, going into the second half of the season. So I'm gonna start it off. I'm looking at the conferences right now. Looking at the Eastern Conference currently as we got it. You got the number one team in the East is Philly, followed by the Nets, Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Hornets, Knicks, and the Hawks are the top 8 teams. So those would be the playoff teams, with the 2 play-in games being the Raptors and the Pacers, right?
Yeah.
So as I look at it, I can see the Nets working their way to the number 1 seed. They
Okay.
don't even have the full team together yet, right?
Right.
Exactly.
We don't know what's going to happen after the buyout market. Already, they've gotten Blake
They got
Griffin,
Blake.
which I'm so on it. I believe that he can win them a game down the stretch.
I
but
mean, he's cool coming off your bench.
Right, like I said, I believe he can win them a game down the stretch. Obviously, there's other names, Drummond's in the works, or other guys that are hot right now with
It's
the
a lot
Nets.
of big men out there right now.
Right, and I would assume, like I said, when KD gets back, I could see the Nets leapfrogging the 76ers. I could see the 76ers dropping down to third. So I can see the Bucks actually coming in second place in the East going into the playoffs. I like where the Celtics are sitting at 4. I like where the Heat are sitting at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly see the Pacers making a run. Right now they're sitting at 10. I could see them making a run, possibly getting all the way up to the 6th seed. So right now they're 3 games back, but I believe that they can make a run. And because right now the 7th seed is the Knicks. Once again, the Knicks are playing good ball, but
Is it sustainable?
Is it sustainable? Right?
Yeah, that's the question.
Right, and so far with this group of guys, they're playing hard, they're playing the right type of ball, but I don't know if it's sustainable. So, like I said, I think I can see the Pacers making a run. I think I can see the Raptors making a run as well. So that's 2 teams that were in the playoff or in the play-in games, making a run into the top 8, top 7 type of seeds. So I just want to hear you guys' take here, who you guys got falling, who you guys kind of got moving up, making a run, adjusting the standings just in the East. Lamp, let me hear what you got, man. Talk to me.
All right, so
Yeah,
like
I want
you
to hear what
said,
Lamb got to say.
the top 5, those look like solid top 5s. It could be interchangeable between those 5, but those look like the top 5 teams. Like Melo said,
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who your number 1 seed in the East? When we get to the playoff time, who's gonna be our number 1 seed in the East?
I feel like the Nets are going to be the number 1 seed in the East.
Okay.
They're only 1 game behind Philly. They're on a streak right now.
In their last 10, they've won 9. 9 out of the last 10.
9 out of the last 10. And KD is coming back soon, probably in a week or so. So I mean, with that, there's no way to go but up. So especially now that we see Embiid and Ben are out, so I feel like the Nets are going to be struggling to keep winning games right now.
76ers.
I mean, yeah, 76ers. Excuse me. 76ers are going to struggle to keep the winning up. So I can see them falling back at least to 4th seed.
From number 1 to 4. So who's gonna be top 3?
Bro, I see Bucks leap into 2,
Okay.
and I see the Celtics leap into 3.
Okay.
Hornets right now.
Jay got
Hornets
something
right
cooking
now.
already.
I'm going next.
He's ready. Okay. But look, Hornets right now, they're iffy to me. I feel like they could potentially fall a little bit. I don't know what their schedule looks like for the second half of the season. I imagine it's probably harder than the first half. The Knicks, I don't think they're going to sustain 7th seed. I can also see the Raptors making a little run this second half of the season. The Hawks. Now that right there, they're my X factor right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They getting healthy.
Hunters,
They getting healthy.
yeah, Hunter's injured. They have a couple injuries right now. They can get healthy. I feel like they can make a run too. Um, I feel like the Pacers, they might hover around 9, 8 seed, and that might kick the Knicks out of standing, so they'll have to play in. But yeah, if I had to make a list, I'm gonna say Nets, Bucks, Celtics, 76ers, Heat, Raptors, Hornets, Hawks, Pacers.
Ooh. Okay.
right.
I know Jalen ready.
right.
I mean,
Go
I'm
ahead,
ready
bro.
to
you got,
go.
Jay?
I want to know why you
You
were
got,
shaking
Jay?
your head, bro. What'd I say?
All right.
What'd I say?
So first things first. Here's the hottest take that I'm gonna say. The New York Knicks will be in the playoffs this year. The New York Knicks will definitely be in the playoffs this year. I don't
You
know
should have
if
saved
they'll.
that. You should have saved
I
that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
but wait, but when we get a little
That man
later,
said it like
it's
it
gonna
was
get a little bit
certain.
crazier. It's gonna get a little bit crazier. The Knicks are gonna make the Knicks are gonna make the playoffs. Now, here's my dilemma. I do believe that Philly can keep the number one seed. Let's see how long Embiid and Simmons are going for the COVID protocol. But what Brooklyn is about to see in the second half of the season, they didn't see in the first half. We're about to start seeing teams buckle down in defense. Like, I don't foresee the NBA's been super, super high scoring. I still think a lot of points are going to be put up on the board, but I don't think we're going to see any of those 140, 135 games as much in the second half of the season. So I
Question.
think, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who's stopping the Nets from scoring 130 points?
I'm not. Look. I'm not saying that they won't score 130 something points, but they're going to get different looks from teams. They're going to get different looks from teams, so they're going to have to readjust to that. Also, too, like I said, barring if health wasn't a factor, then yeah, we're going to put Brooklyn number one. But I'm still going to go off the track record of Kyrie coming in and out of games. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Hmm.
see KD and them stabilize. I know Kevin Durant is the main X factor that any team wants to have. If you want to insert a guy, you want it to be Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? He can go
Exactly.
into any offense and make it work. So what I want
Quick,
to see from there,
quick,
go ahead.
quick update. Embiid played tonight,
Okay.
so
We just waiting on Ben to return.
yeah, we waiting on Ben to come
Okay.
back.
Okay. Okay.
So I think Doc keeps them the number one seed. They really haven't been a team that plays well at home, but because we're in a different type of season, we've been seeing them playing well. But I think Philly stays number one. I think Brooklyn stays number two, and I think it's close. I think it's like a half game, a full game. I don't think it's going to be super off the fritz. You know what I'm saying? It will be close. I think Milwaukee. I think we're going to see Giannis take a big push. Like I stated earlier, we just seen Giannis having fun. We seen him shooting the ball. I think he takes that into Milwaukee. He just got that deal. Giannis is on the clock. We all know. We all talk about how Giannis has to bring it. So I think that stays the same. But I think Miami stays number four. Now Boston is what I'm iffy about. I'm iffy about Boston, man. I don't know with their lack of size. Marcus Smart played an excellent game recently against Brooklyn, but Kyrie still put 40 on his head. So he's supposed to be the defensive man. It's supposed to be this gun. It's supposed to stop your wing player and stuff. It didn't happen. So I'm not so on Boston, but how the rest of the conference is built, I can understand why they're going to be in there. But like I said, Charlotte is playing really good basketball, but I really think the Knicks have a really good chance to make some noise in this playoffs, and not just like no soft out, no 4-0 out. They can take a team to 6-7 games because they play raunchy. They play gritty. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'm with you, Lamp. Once we get to the next segment, I'll talk a little bit more about Toronto, but I definitely think Toronto will make the push. Fred VanVleet's been balling. Siakam, they've been out the past couple of weeks for COVID, so I think they'll make a bump. But honestly, I don't see Charlotte being in there, so I would put Toronto in there. And I'm with you, Lamp. Atlanta's the X factor. They're getting healthy now, but they got to show me. They've been having a lot of turmoil this season. John Collins been on some trade blocks. I know Minnesota
Yeah.
wants some really bad, so we will see. But that's definitely an X factor. They got a good team. They have a great team. They just got to put it together. Go ahead,
Hey,
Huncho.
real quick,
All right,
Huncho,
so
real quick. I just want to give a quick
go
shout
ahead.
out Julius Randle
Go ahead.
because Jay said the Knicks would make it. Shout out Julius Randle.
He been balling.
Hey, I traded for him in my kitty league. I mean, big boy league, and they'll know what I'm talking about. And everybody ridiculed me, and I ain't lost since I got that man. Shout out Julius Randle. All right, I just want to throw that out there. Go ahead, Huncho.
Yeah,
Don't make me
Julius
look
Randle,
bad, Knicks.
he's doing this
Don't
thing
make me
for
look
real.
bad, Knicks. Don't make me look bad, Knickerbockers.
Let's. So from my standings, I'm gonna think. I feel like I don't too much see 1 through 8 changing too much from what it is right now. One, I'm gonna go first seed. I'm gonna go the Nets just because when KD comes back, I don't too much see any teams really stopping them from scoring. There's too many options. What
And
go ahead.
one thing, real quick. Just to go off Jalen's topic of what he said that the Nets might not see. I mean, they haven't seen what they're going to see this upcoming second half of the season. They have the best record against teams 500 and above. So I don't know what else they're going to see, but
And
Yeah.
low key, we ain't seen the full of them yet either.
exactly.
You
Go
gonna
ahead.
see,
Yeah,
you gonna see that,
facts.
that intensity turn up from the first half to the second half. People got their legs underneath them now. People ain't finna just
Oh,
be
yeah.
no easy outs. Like, and Brooklyn can score the ball with the best of them, but best believe you gotta put bodies on them, bro. You gotta, these some shake and bake, these sham god people. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta throw bodies at them. But
Yeah.
like I said,
feel
we
that.
gonna see. We gonna
But
see.
the
It's gonna be
crazy thing,
interesting.
just
I don't
like
think they're not
everybody,
gonna make they gonna win the East.
yeah, just like
I think they're
everybody
gonna
else
win the
picking
East.
up their pace, they gonna pick up their pace too. So that's I don't know. I don't too much see. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really stopping them scoring wise. They got too many options. Kyrie, KD, James Harden. It's too much offense going on.
They also giving up 120, 130 points too. I mean, shoot,
It's too
And
much
let's see what
offense
happens
going
after this
on.
buyout market.
It's too much
They
offense.
get them a
So
solid
first
big man, that
seed,
might
I'm
be
gonna go.
a
I'm gonna
different
go
story.
Nets first seed. I'm gonna go Nets first seed. Second seed, I got the Sixers finishing out second. They got a strong team, but I feel like they're gonna finish out second. Third, I got the Bucks staying where they at pretty much. I feel like the Heat gonna jump up to fourth. I feel like they've been playing pretty good basketball.
8 or 10 of their last.
Fifth,
8
I got
of
this.
the last 10 wins. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, he been balling. He been balling. 8-2 in the last 10 games. Yep. Fifth seed, I'm gonna go Celtics. I feel like the Knicks will stay where they're. I'll bring the Knicks honestly up to 6th seed. And really the only teams that I'm having maybe not the only team that I feel like will not be in the playoffs out of this 1 through 8 that's in there right now is probably the Hornets. If anybody is to replace the Hornets, I feel like it'll be the Raptors. And if anything, I feel like the Raptors will probably finish 8th seed, and then the Hawks will probably finish 7th seed.
Hey, but LaMelo and Scary Terry been balling.
Hey, shout out LaMelo, bro.
Melo been
Really
doing
good
his
job.
thing though. Yeah, I
Hey,
will. Yeah,
shout-
I ain't
shout
taking
out
nothing away from
LaMelo.
LaMelo.
Good
LaMelo
job.
has
Shout
been
out
balling.
LeVar, because LeVar told us that LaMelo was going to be the one, and
He said he was gonna be the best one.
no one wanted to listen to him. So shout out LeVar, shout out LaMelo, shout out Lonzo, even shout out Jello. Shout out what they done did with, having
whole
four.
fam.
Man, that's real. You know what I mean? So they tried to hate
Real.
on LeVar, but you can't hate on what LaMelo doing.
Man, they
And
thought that man
even
was
the
just on
Hornets
here
tried to hold
talking
him back.
crazy. Little they know
How
that
you,
man.
bro? How you draft
Lamar,
that man that high and got
LeVar
him
knew what he was
behind-
doing, man.
Hey, how you draft him that high and got him behind Devontae Graham? Stop it, bro.
Man.
Yeah, man.
So what you got? What you got for the West, Melo? What you got for the West?
Wait, before we get into the West, I just wanted to say, y'all, everybody made good points. I just wanted to say why I'm so high on the Nets because I called it when they first got James. I was like, this is going to work. All I was hearing is
How
one
did I
ball.
know he was finna go here,
They're
Melo?
not gonna be able to do this. Blah blah blah. And
knew he
the
was
first
finna
thing
go
I said is
here.
James Harden is going to take that point guard position, and everything gonna be smooth. They gonna
Bro,
find
you know
some
what's
defensive
crazy?
pieces.
Bro, Lamp has been low key waiting for this, bro.
He been waiting for this moment since the trade happened.
I want to shout out to some of my boys because I had a long conversation with some of my boys. Not y'all. I'm not even talking about y'all because I had a long conversation with y'all too. But I had a long conversation with some of my other boys. They ain't think I knew what I was talking about, but we just gonna see what happens at the end at the end of the season.
Hey, look, I'll admit I was wrong.
I just like flowers. I just like my flowers. That's all.
I was wrong. You happy?
Bro, and I wouldn't even talk about you, but I appreciate that.
Listen, I know the shade when the sun comes.
Bro, it would.
I was wrong.
I wasn't even talking about you.
It's okay. I was wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But look, let's move into the West. So right now, as currently the standings are currently Jazz are number 1, the Suns are 2, Lakers 3, Clippers 4, Nuggets are the 5th seed, Blazers 6, Spurs 7, 8 are the Mavericks, and the 2 play-in teams would be the Warriors at 9 and Grizzlies at 10. All right, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't see the Jazz finishing the number 1 team in the West. No. If I had to go right now on the spot, I'm gonna go Clippers at the 1, Lakers 2, Jazz 3, Suns 4, Nuggets 5, Trailblazers 6, Mavericks 7, Spurs 8, Warriors gonna be 9 in the playoff game. Grizzlies still will be 10, with the Warriors making it in the playoff. Mark my words. Steph will get them to the playoffs. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk about how Steph got them there. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss it. Go, Jay. I want to hear your thoughts, Jay.
Let's go reverse.
All right. Actually, I really don't think. Honestly, I think the only team that makes a big shift is. I'm with you. I think the Clippers are going to move up the ranks. LA's success is really going to be predicated on AD's health. So I like the Lakers at the 2 through 4. I like them in that area. But I think the Jazz stay afloat. I think Phoenix stays in the top 4. Denver has an opportunity, but they've been looking a little off. So hopefully they can bring it together. But honestly, I would love a Clippers-Denver first-round series. That's what I'm pushing for. So I would love that.
They should have never got rid of Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, I agree, Lamb. That's where they went wrong. They definitely went wrong with losing Jeremy's versatility. He's definitely a versatile player. I think Portland stays at 6. Now here's where it gets a little wishy-washy. First and foremost, shout out to DeMar DeRozan. You that boy. You do your thing. But I think Dallas goes to number 7, and I think Steph. I'm not counting out Steph. I think Steph gets that 8 seed. And what's scary about that? If Phoenix or Utah gets that number 1 seed, they don't want to go against Steph Curry. They really don't want to go against Steph Curry. So they better hope that Steph Curry don't get that 8 seed and the team starts to click. He was very passionate recently talking to his team. Steph wants to win. This revenge tour isn't over. So that's why I feel like he's definitely going to be in the playoffs. So I think San Antonio and Memphis playing. They're going to be the playing teams. So
Okay.
Let's see. Go ahead, Huncho. Let me hear what you got to say.
Huncho.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm in agreement with y'all about this first seed. I feel like the Clippers are pretty much gonna hit their stride, figure some things out, and be able to move up to that first seed. I feel like the Jazz gonna pretty much stay where they at. I don't think they're gonna fall down too much, so I got them going 2nd seed. Lakers, like you said, Zay, I'm pretty much agreeing with you that, the Lakers are pretty much predicated on how AD, how he comes back and balls and all that. So I'm putting them at the 3rd seed. Suns, I feel like they're going to be at the 4th seed. 5th seed, I'm going to go Trailblazers. 6th seed, I'm going to go Nuggets. 7th seed, I'm going Mavs. And then 8th seed, I can't not put Steph in there. Steph is gonna make the playoffs. He's making the playoffs.
I agree.
It's Steph. I can't bet against that man. You know what I'm saying? It's Steph. He's making the playoffs. He's gonna figure something out. He's gonna you know what I'm saying? He's gonna bring his team together some type of way. They're gonna figure things out, and he's gonna get that 8th seed. So that's me. What you got, Lamb? What you got?
All right. So look, Jazz. I don't know if they can keep this up. I feel
It's
like
gonna be
they're
hard.
emotional. I feel like they're emotional after the All Star break. Rudy and Mitchell were picked last. I feel like their feelings are hurt right now. They just lost. I mean, they're 6-4 out of their last 10. I feel like they're going to be trending down. Like Jay said, the Lakers' success is predicated off of AD. So I feel like they can finish anywhere from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I have them probably at 2. I feel like the Clippers, they're only back about 3 games.
Bro, shit's funny as hell.
I feel like they can. I feel like they can make it to the first seed if Paul George keeps up his play.
Who'd you say?
Paul George.
Who was that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you talking about way off
And he was
P?
balling in the All Star game, and he was shooting the All Star game though.
He was. That's why. That's why
Ain't no pressure in the All Star game. He just played. That's the issue. When he gets to the playoffs, he had. Listen, we forgot the little run he had before the All Star game in the fourth quarters.
Oh, when he was missing everything. Look, man. Look, Paul George.
I
Paul
really
George.
need you to
He
do
is.
good, bro.
He
You
gets.
gonna-
He goes up and down. But
George
I am
Paul.
not. I'm not
Melo,
gonna slander
stop.
this man.
Stop, Melo.
Right,
Stop.
bro. That's
I'm
what I
not
said. I
gonna
hope he
slander
do
this
good, bro, because I just don't trust Melo with any Paul George.
And y'all know I honestly.
What's
and
his
the
name,
crazy
bro?
thing is for the people, I loved Paul George, but I love
hear
his
that?
skill set.
Loved.
What's his
Yeah,
name,
no,
bro?
I love his skill set. But as far as him as a player, George Paul is terrible.
Stop.
Once again, I'm sure we'll have plenty of moments to get into that. But George Paul,
We
way
gonna
off
make a
P,
segment
play
on
off
why
P,
he's
any of them.
George Paul.
Yeah,
We gonna do that for
we'll
y'all
have a
one day.
we'll have a little discussion about
I got
that.
a whole clip ready right now of the
Stop,
last
bro,
couple
don't do
possessions
that.
of a game. But we ain't got listen. This ain't about George Paul. This
It's
is about
not.
D
It's
Lamb
not.
standings. Go
Look,
ahead.
so I feel like they definitely have a chance to get to that first seed. I see the Suns coming down. I feel like they can be 4. So, and I see Mavs making a little run. Porzingis really has to get his feet under him. He hasn't really been playing like Porzingis. He hasn't really been the unicorn. He's been more of a horse. So,
Yeah.
he gonna get that together. So I see them making a run. The Warriors, I feel like we all have a unanimous decision. I feel like they will be in the 8th seed as well. So this is my standings. It will go Clippers 1, Lakers 2, Nuggets 3, Suns 4, Jazz 5, Mavericks 6, Trailblazers 7, and the Warriors final spot.
Y'all are really disrespecting Compton. That's all I know. We ain't
That
got-
has
Bro, I got him
nothing,
in the
bro.
play-in, bro.
Bro, look,
I'm
he's
just
in the
going with
play-in.
Wardell.
He's playing in. The play-ins are going to be the Spurs and the Grizzlies. DeRozan has been doing his thing. He's been shooting terrific, but he cannot do it by himself.
They just got rid of
He
the
should've
thing
been
that was
an
holding them
all-star.
back. Well, they're about to.
Oh, Aldridge,
LaMarcus.
he hasn't even been playing.
Exactly. So now we can really free up that spot. Shoot, we maybe had to get something for him. I don't know, but
Y'all gonna get something for him, or y'all gonna buy him out?
hey, either way works for me. DeMar been playing the 4 anyway, so does it matter? Like that opens up more minutes and more opportunities for them young bucks to really go out there and do something. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look, don't be surprised if my 2 guys find a way to secure that 7th and 8th seed. DeMar
I'm
and
not.
Steph.
There's no disrespect to DeMar, but I just
wouldn't.
don't see the Spurs.
I wouldn't.
Really?
It depends on what
Yeah.
happens to their team after this trade deadline, but I don't. As
Yep.
constructed
Yeah.
right now,
I agree,
I
Lance.
do
No,
not
no,
see
no
them
disrespect to Compton.
in
I
this
don't,
game.
I don't see it either.
It's too much
And
up
that's-
in the air with
listen.
the Spurs right now.
I'm cool with it, bro. I'm cool with it. Real quick, because I know we're wrapping up this subject. I'd be remiss if I have a conversation about Brooklyn and not give a shout out to my boy C Twice, Christian Kraft.
Oh yeah,
The biggest Harden
we
fan.
know he a Harden guy.
The biggest Harden fan I know. You know what I mean? Shout out my boy Kraft. You know what I mean? And that's what's up. That's real. I have to take a second. That's love, Kraft. You
Harden on
already
my
know.
list too. Harden on my list because he's part of that OKC 3 from 2012. That's my favorite team.
I just know this. Christian realized that Steph was the man and bowed down to Steph. So that's all I needed. So me and Kraft been good ever since then.
All right, so
Yeah.
next we are going to go into a special segment. And with our special segments, we're gonna have different kinds of segments to bring to you each week, just so you guys, so we're not dull. We want to keep it exciting, keep it fresh. But we're gonna start off with this segment I like to call "Profit or Stop It." So each one of us are going to come with a take, some type of bold prediction, and then we all going to discuss: is that man a prophet or does he need to stop it? So, for example. We'll start off with me. And it's not my prediction, but I heard this, and I just want to see what y'all take is on this. I was watching some Sports Center the other day, and my man Jay Williams, he said, and I want to know what y'all think. He said that the next all-star player to want an out is going to be that man Cat. He's going to want out of the Wolves organization pretty soon here. That's what Jay Williams said. I want to know how y'all feel about that.
So look, I see why he would say it, but Jay Will, you gonna have to stop it, bro. Look, Cat hasn't even reached close to that point yet, right? He just went, or the organization just went out and got, D'Angelo Russell, his homeboy.
His homeboy.
You know what I mean? They just had the number one pick in Edwards, Anthony Edwards. So they're at least
They're making moves.
right. They're at least trying to start trying to get pieces around him. Let's be honest, they're gonna throw the bag at him again, and I just struggle to see that. At least this next time around that they throw the bag at him, he turn it around or say that he wants to leave. Now maybe after that, if they don't do anything, I can see it then. But this next time up, I don't see it.
Too soon?
It's too soon. You know what I mean? I think that he still has a mission in Minnesota that he believes, especially with D'Lo, especially with Anthony Edwards as he starts to progress, that they could possibly become something. And all it takes is to start having hope, right? Because then players will start they'll think like, oh crap, like I see what they're doing over there.
They change their tendencies,
right? And they'll say, well, I think I like what they're doing over there. So all it takes is really one big free agent to change the whole narrative of what Minnesota's doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Cat's the type of guy that people like. The league has wrapped their arms around Cat. Rest in peace to his, to
a lot of his family.
Yep, to the family that he lost to COVID. So the league has definitely embraced Cat in that perspective, and I don't see why the players wouldn't either. So like I said, I think they're one free agent signing away from not necessarily being a contender, but being right there,
Smack dab in the middle.
man. It's maybe just a little bit higher than that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go stop it. But I'm curious to hear what the fellas got to say. Jay, let me hear your talk. Let me hear your take on that, Jay. On G.
I'm going to be in agreement with you. I'm going to say stop it only because we just really haven't seen Cat's ability to be maximized. Also too, they lost Flip Saunders. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with COVID.
Yep.
Personally, he was dealing with COVID in his family. So I don't think Cat's really got an opportunity. We know how good he is and how good he can be. So I just don't feel like that's just yet, especially without any playoff success as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna agree that's just stop it right now. Make 2-3 years. Let's revisit this conversation, and then we like, all right, yeah, but stop that right now. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna actually piggyback off both of y'all. I feel like Cat is a great player. I rock with Cat obviously through everything that he's been going through. I wish him the best, but Zay Williams, I'm gonna have to go stop it, man. I'm gonna have to go stop it. I don't necessarily agree with that take, so I'm gonna I have to go stop it on that one,
Okay,
brother.
okay. So look, fellas. I feel like we are unanimous. When I heard this, I was like, Jay, stop it, bruh. What are you talking about? Now look, they're really in the place that they are in because they have not been healthy all year. They are just now getting their team together. Um, Cat has been out for majority of the season. D'Lo has been in and out the lineup. So they really have been playing with some young guns. So like they have not reached their potential at all. Like Melo said, all they need is a nice free agent, maybe a veteran. You don't even need too much. Let Edwards grow throughout this season, and let's see what they talking about next year. Give them a couple years. There's no reason to want out now. Like Cat's still young himself.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if
Yeah.
Cat was a little more advanced in his career, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Cat's still young enough. Him and D'Lo haven't had a full season yet together.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
struggle to believe that without a full season with one of his really good friends in the league that he's gonna want out. Once again, obviously I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell Jalen, you gotta go ahead and stop that.
Man,
Yeah.
let me go next. Let
Go
me go
ahead,
next.
Zay.
I got a real interesting one.
I'm excited.
I have a real
I'm excited to hear
interesting
this.
This is me personally, all right? So how the
Okay.
NBA is currently constructed. AD's not on the Lakers. This is a real hot proper to stop it. So we're just talking about LaMarcus Aldridge, all right? So if LaMarcus Aldridge gets bought out, if he joins one of these contending teams in the Western Conference, I think they can win the West. And guess who I'm going to say?
Who?
If LaMarcus Aldridge gets bought out this before the trade deadline, he should sign with Phoenix, and Phoenix would be able to go to the finals, as the NBA is currently constructed right now. Now, this is
Okay.
why I think this is a profit. Okay. Now, I'm sitting over here and I'm looking at Phoenix's roster. All right. The thing
All right.
about
I'm
the playoffs
listening.
is half court basketball matters. Half court basketball
Yes.
matters. You got the point guard in CP3. They're currently the second seed right there. So you would have Chris Paul, D Book, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, and LaMarcus Aldridge. I think that's an excellent starting five for a second half of the season. I think you can go deep in the playoffs with them. And then you have young bucks on the bench who can come up and play and offset Chris Paul and offset LaMarcus Aldridge to make sure that that works. So I'm going to go in heavy with the profit after looking at the roster right now. You still got Saric. You still got Jalen Smith, who's a young guy who can do a lot. Etwan Moore, Bridges have been playing really good basketball as well. So if LaMarcus Aldridge gets bought out and goes to the number 2 Phoenix Suns, they can win the Western Conference. Should I stop it, fellas? Let me know. I want to hear it because I'm ready for the debate. I'm ready for the debates.
I like it. I like it. I like your take.
Which you want to go, Lamp?
I can go.
Go
Now
ahead.
listen to me. I'm sorry, Jay, but you are going to have to stop. You're going to have to stop it, my brother.
Let me know why.
You're going to have to stop. Now, listen. I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. I feel like if LaMarcus goes to the Suns, it'll boost up where they are potentially at in the standings right now. But when it comes to the playoffs, I don't see it happening. I don't see them beating the Lakers, nor do I see them beating the Clippers. Now let me tell you why.
What has the Clippers showed you that the Suns can beat them as currently constructed with LaMarcus Aldridge?
So if the Clippers have the same team right now, and then Suns go and get Aldridge, this is my thing. LaMarcus has become more of a shooter than a back to the basket type of guy, which he used to be able to. He'll put people in the post, all type of moves. He had good footwork, but now he's more of a I'm going to shoot the mid range or I'm stepping back to the three type of forward or center or wherever you want to put him at in the lineup. And to your point, that's not really helping their half court. That just gives them another potential shooter.
Every team in the
Um,
league shoots. Every team in the
yeah,
league. Every good team
true,
shoots. Every good team shoots.
true. But
So why would that
what
be
is?
any difference for Phoenix?
I'm not saying that's different. What I'm saying is he's not going to be your answer in the half court. He's not going to be the answer where he's just helping you in the half court to get those
You
points.
don't need him to. You got CP3 and D Book. You got that third scorer. You got that third option that you need in LaMarcus Aldridge. I don't see anybody but the
Third
Lakers that
scorer.
can beat him. You gonna tell me the Clippers? Well, I saw them lose a 3-1 series last season. Denver played really well in the bubble. They played really well, but who did they
The
fall to? The
Clippers.
Lakers.
The Clippers
Like I
lost
said,
last season because most of it was their meltdown, but the other was they could not guard the interior. So, like I said, when it comes to half court, the Nuggets could just throw it into Jokic, and Jokic would destroy them. Suns are not
Aiden's
going to
still
throw.
there. Aiden's still there.
Aiden's still there, but
You
guess
still
what?
throw a body at him.
Okay, but they went and got Ibaka for that reason exactly. So Aiden,
But
I
LaMarcus
don't know
will
how much
still be
Aiden's
there,
helping
man.
you, huh?
LaMarcus will still be there. So Serge
Okay,
gonna
I get
guard
what you're saying.
Aiden and LaMarcus.
No, but are you throwing it inside to LaMarcus? Is that
Not
is that what they're doing? Is that the set they're running? Throw it inside to LaMarcus.
for if it's 75-75 going into the fourth, and I'm trying to slow down the game, I'm dumping it. If I'm CP3, I can pick and roll with LaMarcus Aldridge. I can pick and roll with
You
D80.
can do that.
I can
Yeah,
throw
you
it to the
can.
court in the D book. Jay Carter gonna spread the floor as well.
But
Jay
guess
Carter
what?
had an
Guess what?
excellent all season last year.
He did. But guess what? When you pick and roll with LaMarcus, he's not rolling to the rim. He's going outside. So now guess what?
You,
I can
you don't need him to.
definitely. No, I know you don't, but I can definitely just throw Nicholas Batum on him because his size don't matter at that point. Go out to the three. Nicholas will be right there.
Lamp, you ain't never just say Nicholas Batum. You ain't never just say Nicholas Batum.
Look,
That's my
So
point.
look.
That's my point. He's shooting a three. I can throw anybody out there with length on him to guard that three, instead
you
of
can
him
have
being
so
instead of
your
him
point
being
is
on the block.
You got LaMarcus spreading out the floor. You can CP3 lob guy. He could throw a lob to Aiden coming off the baseline. So
I
like
see
I
what you're
said,
saying.
it opens up the floor for a lot to go on. So that's why I said I wanted to go with a hot take like that. Like I said,
No, I get you.
people
I definitely get what you're
LaMarcus can
saying.
still play. He can still play.
You
Okay,
can.
he averaging 14 right now. He can still play, but do I see him being the key for them coming out of the West? No.
So let me interject before I throw it up to Van. Do I think if they get a LaMarcus Aldridge type of presence, do I think they can make it to the finals? Isn't that your prediction?
No, he said come out of the West.
Right, they can make it to the
I
finals.
said I think
yeah,
they can
make
come
it
out the
finals.
West.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
so
bad, my
make it to
bad.
the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta stop that. But do I think they can get to the Western Conference Finals with that? I do.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I
what
think
happens when
to
they
the-
get there? All it takes is 4 games, baby. That's all it takes. 4 games.
I
Right.
think they're gonna need a
Listen,
little bit more than that.
They gonna need more than LaMarcus, bro. And it's
If they're going against the
listen.
Lakers.
But listen, that's only because. And listen, I think CP is having, like, Chris Paul has shown to be playing at a really high rate or a really high level, right? But I think we can also say, if we're being real with ourselves, Chris Paul in the playoffs hasn't necessarily been the same Chris Paul. Right? Whether we want to agree or disagree on that, that's up to you. But Chris Paul doesn't have the same success in the playoffs that he has in the regular season.
So are you saying he's playoff C?
He might be playoffs. I
Cut
don't
it
know.
out.
So, but listen. So I'm saying all that to say this. Is LaMarcus Aldridge at this rate, at this current player that
In
he
his
is,
career.
he's not enough to swing a pendulum, right? He not gonna be the player that puts you, because right now with this current team, they wouldn't get to the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
So even putting him on the team and saying he would get to he could help them get to the Western Conference Finals, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
To put them over the hump. I don't know if this team currently constructed can be put over the hump with LaMarcus Aldridge. not
Who you
because
got
of his.
beating them? Who you got beating them all based off your standings that you just said in the last segment? Who you got beating them?
I mean, I would take the Clippers. I would take the Lakers. I would even take Denver over them, honestly. Um,
Like I
and
said,
that's.
the only one that can stand is the Lakers. If the Lakers
But
are
you got to
healthy, I'm
realize
going with the
too,
Lakers.
you're not computing in the fact that experience, right? D Book don't got
Bro,
no playoff
CP3 went to
experience
the playoffs last year with OKC and
and,
and
and,
they
and
had
lost
what
and
6 or
win
7 games.
and lost
And,
and
and
win.
he didn't have Devin Booker. He didn't have
But
DeAndre
listen,
Ayton.
listen, we're talking about Chris Paul,
I
right?
know
We're
where you
talking
about
about
to
Chris
go,
Paul.
Melo.
So hold on, real quick. We're talking about Chris Paul, right? The same Chris Paul that's never made it to a conference finals outside of when he was with Harden. So 1 year, the same Chris Paul
Right,
that.
he was with Harden. Now he with D Book. So I think that's a pretty
So
good
are we
option.
saying
You
that
got
D
a
Book is
nice
Harden
duo.
now? Are we saying that D Book is Harden now? Yes or no?
No, I'm not going. I'm not. D Book up next, first and foremost. So we ain't got to talk about him being. Ain't nobody Harden. There ain't too many James Hardens ever in the league. But
So even
my point is his skill set, a really good shooter, somebody who can handle the ball. When CP3 played with James Harden, he had some success. He had some success. I'm not
I'm
saying
gonna
they
just
won
say
or anything. He also won against the Warriors. He's not going against the Warriors this year.
I'm a,
Nobody was beating that Warriors team.
correct. Yeah, that's the greatest team I've ever seen assembled. But listen, I'm
Me
not
too.
listen. I'm just gonna leave it at this. LaMarcus is not at this current juncture in his career is not a guy that will get you over the hump. This team is too inexperienced to be able to get over. We saw what happened with the Clippers last year, right? Like their inexperience showed when it mattered, and they ended up blowing a 3-1 lead. You know what I mean?
But you can use that same analogy for Denver. Melo, Denver made it to the Western Conference Finals with they didn't have any experience.
Right. But they've been building on something. Denver, this is Phoenix's first year of even being competitive, right? So at least Denver has been a top 4 or 5 seed the last 3-4 years. They've been working towards this point. This is Phoenix. Phoenix is just now becoming not the laughing stock of the league. So all of a sudden now we're gonna go from Phoenix not being the laughing stock of the league to representing the Western Conference in the finals
I'm going
because
this
of
season,
LaMarcus
and just
Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge. You add those 14 points. You add those 14 points. Those rebounds. I think that's an excellent asset. Like you guys are talking about over the hump. They're clearly over the hump. They were in the
But
bubble
they're
last
not
year, went
clearly over the
8-0.
hump because
They went. They went. I'm talking about elevating from last year. We just can't just say they went over a hump they never been to. But progress, have they made progress? And with adding a solid veteran like that, I believe that can give them the type of experience. LaMarcus has experience. You can talk. CP3 experience hasn't been the best, but he has experience, and that leadership matters, especially in the West where Utah is number 1 right now. AD is
wait,
injured right now.
wait, are we talking about the same LaMarcus Aldridge that disappeared in the playoffs just a couple years ago in his prime?
Once again, we talked about a couple years ago. You don't need that
Right.
same
So
LaMarcus Aldridge to do that, to be that guy in Phoenix. You don't need him to be
I'm not
that guy.
disagreeing with you, but we've already seen when it matters most, he's not the guy you want to depend on. Am I correct?
I'm not going to depend on LaMarcus Aldridge with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I'm not going to depend on him.
Okay, let's go back to Chris Paul then. I think we've seen over his career, he hasn't been the most reliable guy in the playoffs either, right?
That's why I said this year. I didn't talk about last year, the year before that. That's why I said this
So
year. I
at
feel
what
like
point are
LaMarcus
we
can
going to
help them
actually
bridge that
use?
gap, get to the next level.
Which is why I said we're acting like getting to the conference finals is what I just said.
That's the next level for them.
Right.
Yeah,
They've
is.
never even sniffed the playoffs. So now we're talking about them possibly getting to the conference final. How is that a negative?
No, I'm not saying it's a negative.
Shout
I
out
just
Remy over
said
there
that
popping
they
the
could get
bottle.
over the hump and
Flyyr
get to the
pop.
finals.
Flyer pop. Shout out Flyer pop. Flyer pop. Real quick, Van, because I want to hear your
Stop
opinion
it.
on this too. But listen, I just we're taking Phoenix from the slums and we're talking about them in the conference finals.
Miami did it.
Go ahead, Van.
I mean, they did.
All right,
They
real
did.
quick.
That's what I
I'm
said.
gonna make
Go
mine.
ahead,
I'm gonna
I
make
couldn't
mine.
disagree.
I'm gonna make mine short and sweet. Jay, it's not far fetched. It's not far fetched at all. DeMarcus Aldridge is a great player. You know, he's
I hear
he's
a
done
buck
some
coming.
great things in the league. A couple years back, I might agree with you, but I can't,
What?
bro. I gotta stop it, bro. I gotta stop
It's
it.
cool.
Like I said,
I can't wait till the summer.
it's not far fetched, Jay. It's not far fetched, bro. It's not far fetched. So I'm not completely shooting it down. Like Melo said, I can see them getting to the Western Conference Finals,
Look,
but just
Van.
them getting over that hump, I don't see it.
Van, you know what I see right now?
What you see?
I see the Suns having to take on the Warriors in the first round, and LaMarcus having to sit down because of that screen and roll, and him and Steph having that dance all night. That's what I see.
He don't want to put on his dancing
You
shoes,
just
bro.
said
Who don't
want
wanna put on their dancing shoes? LaMarcus?
LaMarcus.
Nah, bro.
Who's gonna make it?
What up? I said what?
I just said you said Compton was gonna make it, bro. So somebody.
I do.
Go.
I think he could be the 7th seed, but I think they also have a lot of young guns that are hungry. Not that Phoenix. No, I said Phoenix was gonna be in the playoffs. I didn't say that they weren't, but I think their ceiling is the conference finals, not the NBA finals. Now, do they? I think they need to add another player plus LaMarcus to be talking about finals, right? Because you got to realize at the end of the day, is CP3 and Devin Booker better as a combination than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? No. Are they better than LeBron and AD as a combination? No. Are they even better than Jamal and Jokic? I don't think so. I'm not even positive right now. And y'all know how I feel about Dame in the playoffs. I don't know if a healthy Portland and CJ and Dame together, because they don't necessarily have a guy that can guard Dame. Whereas the
But
Lakers
if we're using your analogy before, what has Dame and CJ done? They made it to Western Conference Finals.
Right, they made it to a Western Conference Finals. I'm with you, but I'm saying
They
that
haven't made it further.
right. The only reason they didn't make it further is because they played the Warriors and got swept or lost by in 5, 1 or 2.
Exactly. Ain't no Warrior. That's my point. That's my point in bringing it. Like I said,
Look, them Suns may have to see them Warriors in that first round.
That's what I'm saying. If AD's not healthy, so I think the West is up in the air. I don't think it's definitive that the Clippers is going to take it, Denver's going to take it, Utah's going to take it. I think it's up in the air. If AD is healthy, I got the Lakers. Period.
Let's shift this to the Eastern Conference real quick. So because we could be here all day about that one. So
Before we go to the next prediction, it's looking like all odds say that LaMarcus could be going back for a reunion
With Dame?
with Dame and CJ.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I like that.
I can see
Now,
that.
that's something I like.
I like that.
I can
Because
see
Dame
that.
needs
that.
somebody else. Dame need a third option.
Yeah.
Like
He do.
Dame really took a bunch of nobodies to the Western Conference Finals, and granted, he lost to Steph and Clay. He didn't even lose to Steph, Clay, and KD. He lost to Steph and Clay, but there is no Steph and Clay. Yeah, that was obviously they went 73-9. So
Because if Clay was healthy right now, this wouldn't even be a conversation. But that was like I said, prop it and stop it.
That's a good take. That's a good take, Jay. Let me all right, so let's see.
Which one of you boys is going next?
Jay,
Let's see.
Go ahead, Huncho.
So I saw a tweet and it pretty much said, "This is not my take," although I kind of do agree with this for the most part. So this tweet says, it says the 3 likeliest NBA Finals matchups all contain the Brooklyn Nets. It either goes Brooklyn Nets versus LA Lakers, Brooklyn Nets versus LA Clippers, or Brooklyn Nets versus Utah Jazz. Pretty much, my whole take on this is how likely, profit or stop it, are the Nets getting to the NBA Finals?
Profit.
That's a profit.
That's a profit. I like I said, I gotta go with them.
That's a profit. They're only going up, and they're still missing the best player in the game. Not the GOAT in the game right now, but the best player in the game.
KD's the best player I've ever seen play basketball. He's not the greatest player I've ever seen, but he's the best player I've ever seen. That's a profit. And the reason why it's a profit, the reason why it's a profit is they have 3 guys that are number 1 options.
Mm-hmm.
You 3 guys you cannot stop. 3 guys you have to send somebody to help.
And their 4th guy is a 45% 3-point shooter. What are we?
Profit.
Listen, man. Listen, I've never been so happy to be wrong about something. Daryl, you were right. And
Yeah. Daryl
and
definitely was right.
the only reason, and I'm listen as a man, the hardest thing to do as a man is to admit when we're wrong,
Admit when you
right?
wrong.
I've admitted a few times that I've been wrong, right? And that's cool. I'm cool with that. I don't have no issue with that.
You just learn.
You just you move on. You learn. You don't do something stupid like that again, right? So they have James, Kyrie, and KD.
That's tough.
Giannis couldn't beat the rest of the East, right? So who's their competition coming out the East?
And now you have a new challenger.
Giannis still can't shoot. So I don't know
Who's
where
their
Giannis think he's
competition?
going.
That really is the best question. Is who's their competition coming out the East?
Giannis still ain't got no jump shot. That boy ain't getting nowhere.
Hey man,
Yeah,
you gotta
Philly
watch what
probably
you
got
say
the
about
best
Giannis. He
chance
the
for-
All-Star game MVP.
Right. Right. I
He
mean,
went 3 for
But
3 from 3.
like my man Melo said, who is really their competition? That's why it's a profit.
Yeah.
Like when teams go and play the Nets, they're like who's helping me guard him? And then you pass it to, and that's KD. Who's helping me guard KD? And then you pass it to Kyrie. Who's gonna help him? Who's gonna help the person guarding
Bro,
Kyrie?
They gotta play 1-on-1 all the way around.
And then
Help
yeah,
me.
like
You
Help me.
bro, that is three
All
players.
day.
That is the point guard on the opposing team, the shooting guard on the opposing team, and the forward on the opposing
Can
team.
you imagine what it's
They're
like
all
game planning
like-
for them, bro?
Help me.
listen, bro. As a coach, I don't know what I would have done, and I coached high school basketball. Granted, it's not NBA, but I just saying that to give y'all,
Yeah.
that I've coached.
You got credentials.
What do you do?
You just
But-
gotta let that happen, bro.
If
I'm
the
bringing
words
my
of
players together.
Daryl,
profit.
In the locker room. I'm bringing my players together in the locker room before we play them, and I'm gonna tell them, hey, y'all just go out there and do y'all best. I'll leave it at that.
hey, look! Shout out CJ McCollum. Look, I'm trying, Jennifer.
or shout out Lou Will and
Hey, Pat Bev.
I promise we tried.
We
We
tried.
Profit.
Look,
Profit
hey,
or stop it.
and y'all realize I don't mind going out on a limb. The Nets gonna win the NBA Finals, bro.
Hey, that's a take. Wait, that's not your take, is it?
It can be. You know me.
Wait,
don't
say it
matter.
again?
I keep them coming.
Yeah. Go ahead. Say that one more time.
Hey, listen. I was gonna tease our next subject, but this could be my take, and that's fine with it. The Nets will be the 2021 NBA champions.
Now that I look,
Is this your profit to stop it?
It will be. I'm cool with that, because then I can use my next one, because I was going to tease the next subject. But what I'll do is I'll use my next one as a part of the next subject. So I'm cool with this. The Nets will be, and I'll start it off, the Nets will be the 2021 NBA champions. I'm putting my money where I'm talking all this mess. And listen.
money where the mouth is.
I'm putting my money where the mouth is, bro. They will be the 2021 champions. I just don't, even looking at, and shout out Remy.
Remy has a question.
No,
No,
that's a
no.
great question. So look, shout out Remy, Flyyr Population, our producer. He posed a really good question. He posed the question: if LeBron wins against the Nets, does that end all the GOAT debates? I don't know.
Bro,
He had a chance to beat.
hell no.
He had a chance
I mean,
to beat Steph. No, it doesn't. I don't think it does either. He had the chance to beat the greatest team I've ever seen assembled,
Now that would have definitely.
and he won one game in 2 years. Right? AI won one game against Kobe and Shaq, and AI was 5'11". I expect LeBron to win at least 2 games in 2 years, right? So I don't think it ends the GOAT debate, but does it
It brings life into it.
does
So-
it make it a legit 1-1A conversation? 100%
Exactly.
yes.
So-
That will be 100% yes.
Let me piggyback off that. It brings life into that situation just because, like you said, he had a chance to beat The best team we ever seen.
Which, real quick, because I don't.
Wait,
Everybody needs to know who we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's the
Unanimous, which is Steph Curry. Unanimous MVP season. Whenever y'all hear unanimous, that's always Steph Curry. Unanimous, KD and Clay. That he had a chance to beat them twice.
So look. Now that if he would have beat them, the thing is, they were number 1 offense and top 5 in defense.
This Nets team.
So there was no hole in their game.
Hey, us four right now could go get a dub against the Nets. We gonna lose by a lot, but we can put up 80 on them.
Now look, that's the thing. The Nets supposedly have a hole in their game, which makes them have a liability, and they're beatable. The Warriors team
Didn't have a hole.
They didn't have a hole in their game, which to everybody, we all thought they were unbeatable. So you go out and you beat that team, that definitely puts you in the conversation for GOAT. Or that makes you the GOAT. Now you beat this Nets team. They have one of the best offensive ratings we've ever seen.
But their
defense is terrible.
It's just as bad as we've ever seen.
What are we saying here? We can't.
And you know, real quick, just because Remy posed that question, can we stop with the everybody's out to beat LeBron every time a team signs a player?
Oh my gosh!
Because no one was saying that when the Warriors was getting Boogie and all that, right? It was the Warriors they're unfair. They're stacking the competition. It wasn't all this to beat LeBron because they didn't need all that to beat LeBron. So you can't say that. Can we stop that, please? LeBron's an all-time great. Top 2 players all time.
The thing is, whenever there was a super team that won, everybody retooled their deck.
Everybody.
Like that's how it goes. Like wasn't nobody saying nothing when LeBron went to Miami.
Look, when Miami lost that first year to the Mavericks, no one was saying everybody's doing all these moves to beat Miami. Because that wasn't the case. Or rather, they were doing all these moves to beat LeBron. Let's just stop that, dude. Like in the perfect profit, let's stop it. Everything ain't about LeBron. It's not all about LeBron. I get there's a lot of blind witnesses out here, but we got to stop that, y'all. As a people, it's more to basketball than LeBron James. And listen, I just said he's a top 2 player of all time.
Yeah,
that's the highest regard of respect I can give. But every move is not to beat LeBron James. I'm sorry.
I'm just a realist. We're just realists. But let's do this last. Oh yeah, we just did this last take. Let's get into this next debate and maybe a quick discussion after that so we can wrap up, fellas.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Before we get into that, we're gonna get into a debate very soon about the level of competition mattering in people's legacies. I really think that's a conversation we need to have. So just off that discussion that you and Melo just had, I just think that's something that we just need to touch on in the future. I think we got some opportunity for some good debating in that. But we're going to switch gears back to the NFL, fellas. Not only were we talking about franchise tags, we've also seen a number of players get paid. You know what I'm saying? So most notably, the biggest contract debate that was going on in the NFL was Dak Prescott. So Dak was basically going through recovering from an injury. He had an injury last season, and the Cowboys were kind of debating if they were going to pay him. Well, before the franchise tagging came down, they actually went ahead and paid him. I believe the contract is for 160 or 164 million. We'll definitely fact check that, but I know 126 of it is guaranteed. Mm-hmm. There's no trade clause in there, and there's no tag provision. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady just got an extension for a year as well, so his contract is now at 19 million, I believe. And my boy Cam Newton just got paid as well.
Word, shout out Cam.
Cam just got paid as well.
Shout out Cam,
1 year deal.
Another 1 year deal with the Patriots.
Got a 1 year deal. Got some nice incentives in there. So
shout out Cam.
And as quiet as camp, people were really down on the Patriots. They still had a pretty decent season considering all the COVID and everything that happened. So I'm very happy for Cam. So let me just get your taste on this, guys. What does this mean for quarterbacks? What does this mean for the NFL? Do we think this is a good deal for Dallas? Do we think this is a good deal for teams in general paying their quarterback? We know that's a super important a super important position, especially in the game of football, the most important position.
Hmm.
So just tell me how you guys feel about that. How y'all feel reacting to Dak getting paid, Tom getting paid, and Cam getting paid? Let's talk
Let
about it.
me let me go real quick because this was gonna be my profit and stop it. But hey, look, y'all peep. This is all real. This is all live. So look, my profit and stop it originally was gonna be that the Cowboys is gonna go 8-8 this year. I believe that even though adding Dak back into the lineup, I don't I don't see enough. Right, the defense still needs work. They're gonna have to address the defense obviously through the draft. But I don't see enough to get me to believe that they're gonna be back in the hunt to be that type of caliber team. I actually think Philly is gonna be in a really good place. Philly has shown to to be able to put competitive teams out there, especially now that they've committed to a quarterback and not having a quarterback battle all through the year, which they had last year.
Right.
But I think that Dallas has a real capability of going another 8-8 year this year, even though they're in the NFC least. They have a real good chance to be an 8-8. I want to hear y'all thoughts. I'm glad Dak got his money. I think that Dallas had to pay him because at this point,
They're in between a rock and a hard place.
right, like you got Dak isn't elite, but he isn't a scrub either, right? Which makes it the rock and a hard place. But I mean, I'm happy for him, but I just don't see Dak is one of them guys that I feel that he needs everything to be right. Like he needs a good defense, he needs weapons, he
stuff to
needs
be
a good
tailored
running game,
towards him.
right? And this team currently constructed doesn't have a good enough defense to be able to get a guy like Dak over the hump. Dak needs more on defense along with the offensive talent in my eyes to be able to put himself in a competitive situation. So I'm curious to hear y'all thoughts on this.
So as
Go ahead,
far as
Huncho. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
go Huncho. No, go ahead.
Oh shoot! All right. I mean, me personally, I honestly thought Dallas was over Dak. So when they gave him this contract, I was a bit surprised. But to be honest, in my eyes, I personally feel like Dak is still a pretty good quarterback. I feel like he could definitely get the job done on just about any system in the league, really. I really honestly believe in Dak. He's a pretty good quarterback. You got to think about it. First of all, when Dak got injured, it was week 5. At the time, I believe they were 1-3 going into that game versus the Giants, week 5. He's getting like 300 passing yards a game with,
Yeah, he was number one in pass yards at that
yes,
time.
Dak was doing his thing. So you gotta think about it. Like it's not necessarily Dak. Like Dak is gonna ball. Like their offense is fine. It's their defense. Their defense is terrible. Like you gotta think about it. If I have an offense that is almost top 10 in the league ranked in yards, that's good and all. But if my defense is bottom 10 in the league,
Wear out your offense.
it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it messes up the whole equilibrium of the whole system. So, if we're just sitting here trying to score all these points, that's cool. And if we can get it done, that's fine. But our defense isn't answering. So, what does that really leave us? So I don't really think it's necessarily anything that Dak's doing wrong. I feel like Dak is doing everything great. So by Dallas re-signing him, I don't really, I don't think that's a bad thing on their part. They just got to get their defense together. Like, defense wins championships in my eyes. Even with me being an offensive guy, like, I understand that. I understand that. Like, you can't win without having a defense. You can score all these points all you want all day, but if your defense can't stop them, if the other team doing the same thing, like, y'all just going back and forth, like, nothing's going on. Like, you have to have somebody stop. Somebody has to take initiative on defense and make that stop. So I'm not in total disagreement with them signing Dak. But I don't know. We're gonna see how it plays out though. I honestly though, with what you said, Melo, I don't think that they're too much gonna make a change within like how their record was and how they finished out within the year. Even if Dak does, let's say he comes back and he finishes the whole season, I don't really too much think that's gonna make too much of a difference. I could see them finishing out at like 8-8 at 500. But it's simply just because they defense. Like if they could come back with a solid defense, sign some players, maybe get some free agents, something. I could see them maybe, making that push to become a better team, in their conference. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But until they do that defensively, I don't see it happening.
Go ahead, Lamp.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this real quick because I know we gotta keep stuff going, keep it pushing. But I do kind of like this for Dallas because like where else were you gonna go, especially if you can't get Wilson. So play it safe. And I feel like this is good for the rest of the league because now the teams that are desperate to have that quarterback, they got to do something because quarterbacks are coming like quarterbacks are getting deals left and right. So like a team like the Bears, who are definitely in search of a quarterback, are going to have to make something happen. So and like y'all said, for the Cowboys, and like it's not Dak, it's definitely their defense because that just does nothing but wear out your offense on the other side. Because now we have to play keep up. If they're going to keep scoring with ease, we gotta somehow keep up the pace and keep scoring against a team, especially if you're playing against a team who plays defense that just wears out your offense. So, like you said, if they could get some free agents or some picks and help out their defense help out their defense on that side of the ball, they can definitely become contenders. Jay, go ahead.
Like I said, I'll keep it real short too. What sucks the most about this is there's a lot of contract reconstruction going on in the league. So to see Dak get paid and then in the same light go through plethora of players, Michael Thomas going through reconstruction of their contract, it just kind of sucks. But we all know the quarterback is the most important position in football. So I think it's a great deal, and like Melo said, it probably keeps you at 8-8. But the good thing for them is that's all you freaking need to win in that conference is
You
a
right.
For
500
real.
record.
You see,
So
they
I
got
mean
into it
that
six.
works to their benefit.
They almost
You
made it
know,
at
so
6-10 last year.
yeah, it's really ridiculous. But I just think with the NFL going through a lot of reconstructing contracts, teams trying to get better. To you all's point, that's not a good look because they need to retool that defense. It's crazy because they just had a pretty solid defense like two
Bro,
seasons ago. Like it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Well,
Like how it just went down.
they might have one of the
talent
most
ain't the
dropping
issue.
off defenses in the league right now, honestly.
Yeah, man. It's really
Look,
crazy. It's
talent
crazy.
talent has never been the issue with their defense, right? Like they have they have name guys, right? It was never been the
Shout out
issue.
Jalen Smith, man.
Right. All of them. The Wolf Hunter, all of them, right? The names haven't been the issue. It's just getting consistent production on the defensive end.
Yes,
Dak
sir.
puts a lot. Dak puts up numbers, but I think the one dig against Dak is he puts up empty numbers because those numbers even this year
Don't
before he
result
broke
to
his
wins.
ankle,
Yeah.
they didn't
They
translate.
don't matter.
So that's why I said what I said is he needs a lot of he almost needs a perfect situation. He's that type of quarterback to be able to he can take a team from a competitor over the hump, but he can't take a team like Tampa Bay
He's
where
not Brady.
right, Tom took a team that
Yeah.
was a 7-9 team and that was it, right? Like they won a Super Bowl because you insert him in. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I believe that, like I said, it was good for the Cowboys because they've already as a team, as a community, they've invested so much in the Dak that I believe that he should have gotten his contract. I'm great with that. I just think that until they address the need on the defensive end, they won't be where they need to be as far as being competitive.
All
Agreed.
right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, these debates, I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. Before we wrap up, I just wanna get y'all take on some of the trades that y'all feel like might happen in the NBA before the trade deadline. Just a little something. Doesn't
Or
have-
buyouts.
Yeah, or buyout
season.
Yeah, definitely buyout season. Just a little something. Doesn't have to be too long.
Look, real quick on the clock. We throwing everybody on the clock.
Yup.
Unrehearsed, straight on the clock. What y'all? I know Jalen was feeling straight up the LaMarcus trade, but not trade, but just buyout season
Yeah,
going
that what
to the
if
Phoenix.
Yeah,
hypothetical.
Yup.
just what you want to see happen or what you think will happen. Real quick.
Go.
I'm gonna end with this. I think John Collins has been a lot in the talks. I think if a team's gonna make a move, I think one of those bubble teams that we talked about earlier. I think Charlotte should make a play to try to get John Collins. I think that would be excellent for LaMelo. I think he'll fit
Mm-hmm.
in with Terry Rozier. Like Melo said, they had Graham. I mean, you drafted LaMelo. If you can unload Graham and get him down there, maybe get like a Rondo and a Collins and pick up those contracts, and maybe get rid of Rondo's. He only has 2 years, so he's almost up out of this year. So if you can get John Collins over to Charlotte, I like Charlotte in the playoffs. So that'll be my that's what I want to see. I like John Collins.
Huncho.
I'm a piggyback off Jay. I like that take. I could see John Collins going to the Hornets. Nice young team. Nice solid big man to be able to run that pick and pop game or pick and roll game with LaMelo. With just the young talent that they got over there, I could see that developing pretty well for sure.
All right. Real quick, and
Go
I know
ahead,
we'll
Melo,
probably
man.
talk. I know we'll probably talk more about this next week when we see some stuff happening and we see some movement. I feel like Clippers, and I got a couple. I feel like the Clippers really need to go out and try to get either Kyle Lowry or Devontae Graham. I feel like they need to
Smart.
go try to get one of those players.
I like
I feel
that.
like, yeah, I feel like that'll definitely put them over the hump. I feel like the Lakers need to go out and get a big man. Personally, Whiteside, LaMarcus, or Drummond. I also feel that way about Brooklyn. They need to go get Whiteside or Drummond, one of those. And anybody else I see doing something? No, for the most part, those are my three takes.
I'm real quick. I see Drummond landing with either the Nets or LA, and LA. That's my final pick. I'm gonna go LA. I'm gonna go LA. I think it's tough for him to turn down the opportunity to help out a team like LA who could use, and obviously the Nets can too. But I can see him going out west and having a good time out there with LeBron and the boys.
If I would just say if I was LA, I would try to go get Whiteside because he's more of a rim protector. But Whiteside goes with either or of those teams, Brooklyn or the Lakers.
I like it. We're gonna see what happens,
Yeah, we
y'all. The
definitely gonna see
trade
what
deadline's
happens.
coming up soon. It's coming up soon, so these teams gotta make some moves.
Shout outs.
Oh yeah, shout outs. Melo, go ahead and start.
Hey man, I want to give a quick shout out Aaliyah Cherry Photography, and then real quick, one of the
Headshot.
homies. Hey, if you need photography, hit up at Aaliyah Cherry Photography on Instagram, and then on Twitch. For the gaming population that's following us at Cheese World TV. So that's CheeseWrld TV.
Shout out the homie.
That shout out to homie Aaron. He's on
Shout
Flyyr
out,
Pop,
cuz.
Flyyr Pop Gaming. Shout out Flyyr Pop and Remy. Shout out Flyyr, Flyyr Gaming. That's what we doing.
They
Shout
got a
out
stream
Remy.
team. If you went to gaming, hit up Flyer Pop.
Hey,
Man.
listen, Rocket League, GTA, all that. You know what I mean? Shout out Cheese World TV. Shout out Remy Pop. Remy has done a lot for us, believing in the vision.
Big produce- big
always
producing.
big producing, and,
shout
and
out.
more than that.
Shout out Flyer
we can't
Pop.
thank once again. We can't thank Remy enough for what he's done for us already.
Anybody
Go
else want to
ahead,
go?
man.
All right. To piggyback off Mel, shout out Aaliyah Cherry Photography. Shout out Flyer Pop. They have a streaming team. They also have a platform for podcasts. So if you like podcasts, they have a whole bunch of podcasts on there too. So go check them out. Also, shout out to my music duo, the Frequent Flyers. That's FREEQUENT. Tune in. We got mixtape dropping soon. We got music on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, all that. So please go tune in. That's FREEQUENT Flyers.
Go ahead,
That's all
Huncho.
I got.
Yes, sir. Shout out, man. Shout out everybody involved, man. Once again, I know we keep shouting out Flyer Pop, but Remy just helping us along the way. It's really big for us, you know what I'm saying? So shout out Flyer Pop. Go check that out. For myself, I am a graphic designer and a content creator. If you need logos, any artwork, cartoons,
Hey, he the
drawings,
truth.
whatever.
He the truth.
Man,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
appreciate it,
That
man.
man cold with the electronic pencil on the computer. I'm telling you.
Man, appreciate y'all, man.
V-Nor Design. Y'all
If
better
y'all
get
need
with him before
anything
his price
done,
go
man,
up.
for
Y'all
your
better get with him.
if y'all need anything done, man, for your business or just for personal use, man, just get with me. Instagram is at VNORDSGN. That's VNORR DSGN. Whatever you need, hit me up. I got you. Say what you got.
I'm gonna round it out. I just wanted to, super thank Remy. You'll probably hear us saying a lot of that. Before we get up out of here, I just wanted to touch on what we'll be going over a little bit next week. It is International Women's Month. Women are extremely important in sports in our everyday life. So we're gonna dive into the women of sports, our favorite sports, our favorite, women athlete, and what they bring to the game.
Without y'all.
Can't live without
all.
y'all.
Live without y'all.
With that being said, party is out. Make sure y'all click the links in the description. We gonna put Flyyr Pop's at below, everybody's Instagram names, Twitter names. We gonna get to it, y'all. Thank you for supporting us.
Flyyr Pop. Shout out Remy one last time. The party.
Hey,
Yo, we do this.
And this has been a real party. I'm glad everybody tuned in. Who's tuned in? Keep watching. We got a whole bunch of content coming to y'all.
Hey, shout out you guys. Without y'all, we would just be doing this in the headset still. So, like, seriously, really, we really appreciate, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate every single one of y'all that listened, took the time to get to this point. Listen, we only gonna get bigger and better, all right? Like I said about my boy Huncho, you better get with us before the price go up. You don't know what we got up our sleeve. I'm just gonna say that now. We're gonna leave it at that.
Hey,
Party.
I love all these guys. These are my brothers, and shout out to them and all the endeavors that they are going through. And that'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode. Hey,
Party out. Shout out Mama.
Gone.
And I am going to stop recording now.
Shit, y'all boys.
That shit went good, man.
Hey,
Big round of applause.
that was even better than the first time.
That was great.
That was even better than the first time. Remy said that was great, and coming from the GOAT, I assume so.
Yeah, no, that was really good, man. How are you guys recording this and everything? Everybody's recording this good?
Yeah, mine's just downloaded. It said it'll download after this. After this meeting. And I think that's why I didn't have it last time. I don't think I stopped recording last time.
What about the audio? Van and Jay, your audio good?
Yeah, but I didn't stop recording. So last time I didn't stop recording, so I don't think it dropped the file for me. That's why y'all had it and I didn't have it. But Remy said y'all audio good. How's it looking over there?
If y'all could, when y'all send that, if y'all could number them, like what was first and what was second, as far as like recording goes, that'll make the editing part a little easier.
Yeah, anything to make this easier and make this process go by smoother, because we got a lot of stuff we got to get done by Sunday.
Yeah, so if you can do like first half or second half or first, second, or third part, however it works. I don't know how many times y'all had to stop. I know I know my jump stopped at least once. So if y'all can at least number them, that'll make lining up that way a lot easier for sure.